Oh, start my video. Oh, there you
Hey, there
go.
you go.
Uh, so
Okay, so let me share. Uh, let me share this.
now that's your son. What's his name?
That's Matthew. Matthew's
Matt.
playing on my phone. You got to move over. And now let's see here. Yeah, there he is.
Matthew
Yeah,
looks like he's about 5.
he's 7.
Oh, wow.
7.5. Yeah. Um, let's see here. Um, where did I? So yeah, so here's the 5-minute session. I was
Mhm.
I was trading, and actually, let me see if I can zoom this out.
Which
Um,
what I like that graph. Where did that come from?
so Alan basically, and he can do it on any chart.
Yeah,
Um,
but that was like, cut and dry. That was a short.
yeah, so
I'd
like
love to see that chart. I've never seen that one before.
yeah, so like here's the 5-minute website, and if you click on this, he's got the 1-minute VWAP and the 5. He trades a lot on VWAP. And for those of you that, and I'm going to talk to generally because I'm going to share the video. The people in the Facebook group that don't know, it's the volume weighted average, and he's got the 1 minute and the 5-minute. Um, so
Well, that's a beautiful graph. That graph right there tells the story right there.
yeah, and this I actually traded
Now,
this today.
did you notice this? This is what I try to point out to people. So there's 4 things we're looking for here. Yeah, are you seeing my arrow or are you just seeing it on yours?
I just see it on mine.
Okay.
Um,
So if you go to the first one, now this is really important for your trading, is that you have your open and close and your high and low.
yep.
And so you really on a Friday, you want to set all 4 just for the first one, because all the computers for the we'll call it the institutional buyers, that's all they're looking for. And if you notice that bottom 5-minute bar, you notice none of them actually gave you a trade signal. If you
Yeah.
take that line and none of them cleared it. Now, it didn't know what it wanted to do. Now, because I want to be short on Friday, the rule would be if it crosses that second line.
Let's
So
do
what
this. Let's and we're gonna have to because I can't draw. I don't think on that chart.
what was that? What is that? Is that SPY?
Yeah, so this is a SPY. So
Okay,
here's
that's beautiful.
his five
Yeah,
minute
now
chart.
so what you want, it's a Friday only thing, is drop on 2 more lines. You're gonna have a second green and a second red.
Oops, I get the reds and the greens mixed up.
There you go. Yeah, and then drop in a green.
Okay.
So the rule says on Friday only, because you want to be short, you're allowed to go ahead and buy short if it crosses the second green. Now, you see how beautiful that worked?
Yeah.
I didn't even look at the graph. It's just it's a Friday thing. So what it is because you want to be in early. So you would had bought um right. Your first one would have been at like 11:30. It would have been the first green after the red. Now,
11. Okay, let's see here. 11:05, 11:30.
yeah, right there. No, keep going. No, right. No, next one after that, that red one right there. That's where you have the permission to buy right there.
Yeah.
And then you're put your stop above that first green. Do you see that?
Yeah, right. Right above here.
So the thing is that what everybody makes the mistake is they don't go ahead and set a stop. So you never lose. It's a 100% trade because right there, you're buying it right there at that red. And then you're putting your stop above the green line. because it'll never break that. You notice it tried to break it on the next one, it can't.
Yeah.
Then you would have wrote it short all the way to 107.
Right down. And here's what I did today, and look what I found out how to do. All these asterisks, I learned how to turn on privacy. So I got in at 9:05 and 10:06, which is Central Time. So
For
10
what? For
for
what?
the
What's
SPY. I traded this SPY.
okay? Show me where you got in.
So I got in at 10:05. Why is this? Okay, so this candle, because I saw that it didn't break above the green. So I got in short. I wrote it
Oh,
down a
that's
little bit.
beautiful. Yeah, that would have been fine.
And then I added at 11:06. I was a little early, 11 on this candle. And I basically just watched, and I watched it go above the 5-minute high,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it never really had any conviction above that 5-minute high. So I just wrote it down, and actually I think I could have made more, but I think I made like 50% on my trade today. It was a fun day. I mean, I gotta admit, this whole week have been kind of in a like a lull or a kind of a bummed kind of mood, just because health wise and things like that.
I like the
So
weather too was kind of a bad thing too.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so because it's Friday, you could have went ahead and those two secondary lines where you came in was actually a good entry point. And then the thing is that again, what you would have done is you still are putting your stop above. You got to give it room to move. You would have been above the top green line. That's where you would have put your stop.
yeah, yeah.
Now, what I like about Fidelity, if you put in Google right now, you don't have to do anything. It'll just switch it up for you. Put GOOG and then go.
Just Google
Or
or
I like the Google. I don't like the L. Yeah, go ahead and I hit go.
see
Do
for
you
me,
notice how I just did it already again for you?
yeah,
So you would
yeah. I
have
mean,
now
it
do
sets up
your
the
lines
5
again
minutes.
for this one. Yeah, do your lines on this one again.
Draw. Um, actually, the low is where the close was. So
Now your permission would have been to go short. You notice that at 12, it said second that the next red is where you should have been short.
yeah, as soon as it broke
Right
the
there.
low.
And it broke the high. So then you would have put your stop right above that green line
Yeah,
in case it reversed, because it could bounce off of there. And then the thing is that is beautiful right there. That's a big move. It's a $20
yeah.
move.
Wow. Yeah, with Google it is. I mean, and that's less
And
than a percent.
I bought the contracts at 280, so they were cheap, So they were. That's the beauty of waiting until after 11 or 12 is that there's just nothing left of the time, and so what it is that there was just nothing there. I mean, they were trading almost for $2,000 on a 280 contract, so I mean, you can't beat that at all.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Like I said, it was a fun day today. I'm gonna have to cut it short,
oh
unfortunately.
yeah, no problem. Now, when you say 4:30 next time, are you talking my time or your time?
I'll say your time. I'm getting
Oh,
used
okay, okay,
to I'm
okay.
getting used to say things in Eastern time for you. Let's go back Thursday. And is it this one? You posted this. And I will even bring up the chart for you. And I think it's coming. Hopefully it's coming. Yeah. So this was your GameStop
Mm-hmm.
activity.
Oh, good.
Uh,
And I was gonna explain that. I didn't see anybody with the right answer yet, but there was logic to that.
Okay, so, and we will look at the 2-day, and we will, February 17th, was that yesterday? I don't know, hold on, let me see.
Well, you could do a 5-day because that's more like, because
Right.
I was in um, for a long period of time.
Friday, oh yeah, look at that. Now
Yeah, so
theoretically, I could,
I actually bought Friday, just so you know.
um,
So I was already had a really nice profit on it. So what I
16th,
was doing was locking in the profits.
so there's Monday's high
Yeah, but I bought it on Friday,
today, or last Friday, last
last
Friday.
Friday. Hmm.
Um, okay, I mean,
And
theoretically, so that's Friday's high and low, or 5-minute high and low.
so what I did is I bought it at the high, which was around 52. That's where I bought it.
Okay,
I'd actually bought the 47 and the 44 puts, and the so I had actually bought both of them. So what it is, it's a way to lock in your profits. And then what you're doing is it's rolling over. So
so you, looking at this, um,
yeah,
okay,
the fidelity
so
can,
let's first start with these. So what are the, because there's no dates or times on these. So which order are these in?
now that's a good question. And so what that is that and I'm not sure why they're listing it that way. So those were actually, I just want to make sure I'm right here. Um, okay, so um, they start. Um, uh, well, what they are is they're starting at. I don't know why they're out of order, but the first thing I did was I sold to close the 47 puts.
When did you buy? So you
I bought it on
previously
Friday.
owned those. So you bought those on Friday. You sold them Thursday, right?
Yeah, when GameStop hit 41 or 40.
Okay.
So you'll see that on Thursdays when I sold it. These all
And,
took place on Thursday.
and Thursday, I need a calendar because um, okay, so today's the 19th, so Thursday's the 18th. So the 18th, somewhere down in here, I think this,
Yeah, right when it hit the bottom right
so
there.
here's February 18th. Actually it closed Thursday, it closed at the low.
Right,
Um,
but what happened is that I didn't know that. So what I knew GameStop is that they were going to try to do another short squeeze. And so what happened is that I sold at 12.22, right at that bottom point.
right
So if you
here.
go ahead and right there, it was 43.36. So that's where I sold.
Okay, so, and that was a sell to close the 47s.
Yeah,
Um,
and then what I did, that's a call option on 47, which was really bizarre because I could have sold that call option at um call at 1 o'clock. I could have sold that thing for a triple and in 17 minutes.
oh, right in here.
Yeah, and I was going to, but I thought I had some time, so I let it go, which was a mistake. It doesn't always work out right. But what it is I had it hedged, and then the 41 is for next week.
Okay.
But that one I got a triple going on, I believe, right now.
A-
Um,
And that you bought on Thursday.
yeah, but on because what it is that you want to stay in the play. And so I wanted to grab my profits. Um, so I had a double or triple on it from buying it from last Friday. And then I wanted to go ahead and keep the play going. And so that 47 call was very cheap. It was $100.
Hmm.
So because it was at 43, so it had to move $4. So um, so I'm like, it was just hoping that they could have drove it up to $70 again.
Yeah.
So they didn't do it, but I didn't. That one was um, just a Hail Mary. Like I wasn't going to put any money into it. My
Yeah.
whole my whole logic is when I sold the 47 put, um, I sold it for something like $500 or something like that. And so what I did is I took the profit. I took 100 on the one, and I bought the 41 put for I think $200. So I just rolled all the profits over. So I'm expecting GameStop to drop to 25 next week. That's
Yeah.
my anticipation.
You're still holding that. And I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw, because I was actually trying to, and this afternoon, trying to get in with the weekly, and their TD Ameritrade is only off, allowing you to close um, those trades. You can't
Uh,
buy a weekly to open. So
well, that's interesting because Merrill Edge did that, but then they stopped that after all the uproar, and then they're allowing you to do it again.
yeah,
So
and maybe it was just a Friday thing that TD Ameritrade's doing. Maybe it's just because it's expiration day and whatnot that they're restricting it. But anyway,
well, it is something that I usually don't play. Now, this is kind of interesting because it's a true story. It's happened to me 3 times now. Um, Even if I'm not making any money at it, because you might see a big spike, they've made me buy the shares 3 times now.
hmm,
And it gets costly. Some of them can be like 100,000. So, that's something you got to really watch. I've learned it's just not even worth it. I try to go ahead and if I can get a penny for it, which is $1, I just get out because it's not worth the stress. Because you'll see market makers will try to go ahead and do it. Like even on your thing right now for GameStop, if you notice the last half hour, it spiked upward.
right, exactly.
You
Yeah,
know,
they're just trying to
so,
clear. Yeah,
and you don't know, you just don't really know what they're doing. Usually on a healthy market, they're selling their shares and getting out and not holding over a weekend. In this case, they're actually going ahead and there were shorts, and they didn't want to hold their shorts over the weekend, so
right.
that's what you there.
Yeah, they're covering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who, and unfortunately, she's in some pain this week because she's following those, Wall Street bet trades, and there's some, um, like, where is it, Sundial or whatever.
Mm.
Um, this was up to, actually, this is just today's, but these same looking charts where they spike up. I saw one yesterday that moved 50% in one day. And it's like, you're going to get burnt. You're just asking for trouble when you're trading those things. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, anyway, I hate to cut it short.
Oh no, no, no,
Um,
no! But I do like these Fridays. So, and hopefully, by, given, some, recording, I would choicely, um, go ahead and, post them, because I think they're good stuff. So,
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I don't know if we'll meet before next week, but if, yeah, continue to kind of keep meeting weekly or whatever.
I
Um,
really like what he did. Um, and, so I'm gonna, utilize that even more, because, that chart, that's the chart. I don't know if those are real time. I'm thinking they have to be. That's your story right there.
right.
It's just so, right in your face. So what I do, and I have shared them, with the group before, is that on my trading wall, I list 8 charts. So there's really, I find, just 8 things that happen. And so what you want to do is identify what you're visualizing, what you're seeing. And like this one right here, very classic reversal with a drop.
Yeah, and
So
I think you
you
posted
see
like
it.
to to go short at 11, I think it was.
Oh, what
Which if
happens
you
is
look at it,
it's a Friday. It's a Friday thing. You want to be short. So you get your first reversal at 10, your second reversal at 11. So by 11 on that second reversal, you want to be in a short position. Now you want to be have your finger on the button, meaning that in case you get, it goes the other way. But the the thing is, on a Friday after 11, you only want to be short, short, short. You don't want to be anything else. Now this is a classic example right here.
yeah,
Look at 11 o'clock, go straight up,
yeah,
and then look what happened. I
right
mean,
within here.
yeah, because you got two reversals. You got a reversal at 10 and you got a reversal 11. The second reversal usually takes out and it usually goes ahead, and it just it folds because nobody really wants to hold the stuff over the weekend. And
Yeah,
then depending on where they're at, a lot of people go ahead and, they're done trading 11. I know that sounds crazy to think that way, but
yeah,
they trade from 9:30 to 11, and then they're on their jet going to New Jersey or whatever they're doing. It just seems to be that's the case, that they're
yeah,
calling it a day, and then, what causes it to go down? There's no buyers.
right, yeah,
Uh, Every once in a while, that's not the case, but that's why you got your lines. That's why you got your rules. That's why you got it, the way it is. So
yeah. And like I said, Alan's done this, or Andrew's done this for all of this. So we track these stocks, and let me get this back to actual size. Um, if they're red, they're short. If they're green, um, they're calls.
yeah, but
But
like even Rite Aid today, I don't know where in Rite Aid it would have been a call.
probably towards the close. We can look
No,
at.
no, but what I'm saying is that what I'd like to see is that if you go to like Rite Aid's a classic. Do you got bring up Rite Aid. Now that
Yeah,
right there, I like that. That is really telling you what you want to be in. That right there is huge. I mean that, because I actually took a trade from there,
mm,
from that list. And it was one of the trades I did today. But if you bring up the chart,
yeah. See here at 3:55. So right at close, he's calling, and it's changing every 5 minutes. It can
right,
go from red
what
to.
what I would do is that now if you look at that, the first thing that I see when I see that chart, it's all over the place. It's not a tradable. It's not a tradable stock
Yeah,
because the thing is that it's up. It goes up to the 5-minute high, goes back to the middle, it goes to the 5-minute low, comes back. And basically, it was just range bound all day. There was really no real major trades there.
yeah,
And you identify that real quickly. But with that said, the only thing that I see in that chart is a put trade. And that put trade would have been when it broke 2190 at 1230. And then, but it was very short put trade.
yeah, because it came in and came back up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask Andrew to see if I can get him to be able to throw lines on this chart, and that would be perfect. You know, be
Oh
able
my
to,
God, that would be huge. You don't need
yeah.
that line, whatever that line he's got. That yellow lines is and that blue line's
Oh
useless.
yeah, those are the V, but with because he likes to trade on VWAP on, like I said, that variable weighted average. Looking for triggers based on that. But yeah, if we can
Well,
throw
there's
that,
no triggers there. All you got it's just noise.
yeah,
And what you really want is that you really just want is that are we supposed to go on a call trade or a put trade? Um,
yeah,
and then and basically how I would do this is that if it goes below 2190, it's a put trade. And then because that's kind of how I read that. I'm looking for it to go red. And when it but let's say it was red at whatever that the fourth, one, two, three, fourth. Well, if you would have jumped in there
yeah.
and then it would have jumped back up, so you really didn't even have a trade.
Huge reverse on you, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but it stayed within that 5 minutes, so it was kind of a thing. But I would love to see that. I would love to go ahead and see it. It tells you now. I do use it in the beginning of the day, and I do use that chart for that because what I'm actually looking for, and that's when I took the U.S. steel trade, is the reason I got into that was I used that circle and it flashed green.
Hmm. Today?
But no, that's the day
Oh,
that I did the 1500.
okay.
Went
Yeah.
up $1.77 in a day.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was in Cliffs instead.
Well, Cliffs did well that day and the next one too. But yeah, and what I'm looking for is that I want to look at um, the price because the price to me determines even if you get into it. Because Google was it was like $1,500 to get into a trade like Wednesday and Thursday because it had an anticipated big move. So and to me, that's not a trade because if you're off once, it's too hard to make up that kind of money.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that wasn't a good trade. But even Cliff, I think it was the 17 calls were kind of high, and it was at 16. Well, that's kind of borderline if it's going to make that move.
Yeah.
Um, U.S. Steel, what I based it on, as I was looking at U.S. Steel because the call volumes and the option volumes were just completely insanity. And you can bring that up now. Bring up uh, U.S. Steel. You'll see what I like about all of these is that they bringing up the options.
Let's see here.
And the 1750 calls on U.S. Steel was a good move today too. And you gotta log in to, or what'll happen is it'll make you log in right there.
It keeps logging me out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, see, they came in at the end, but look at those calls 3,000, 6,000, 15,000. Now, if you look at that during the week. The 17, 1750, the 18, even the 19 and the 20. Well, what do you got there? You got 27, 30, 42, 47, 57. You got, 6,000 calls, 60,000 calls. There
Yeah.
really isn't that many puts.
Half.
Um,
Yeah.
and so that's why I was watching. I think I was in the 1750 calls is what I was in. But even that was pretty good. I think I got into those at like 7 cents. It's still like a 7 banger. But uh, so uh, what you're looking for is something that's cheap. Even that one. You look at the 1750 calls. You could have got into that for like a nickel. See how it went up 32.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we're looking for. Is we want that kind of move. We want to be in at $5 or $6. I usually always buy 50 shares. That's just my deal. So 50 shares at $300, and then you're getting 50 shares at 40 cents. Is that right? Yeah, 40 cents. So that's $2,000. So 50 times, so that's $2,000. So that's 1,700 profit. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's what the return you want. And sometimes it's a leap of faith. Sometimes it's just a guess. I mean, but it's not really a guess because you're looking at the number volumes. I mean, the numbers were there. They're going to
Right.
try to sway it that way.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, obviously, it doesn't do you any good to get 50 contracts at 20 cents a share. That's $1,000. But you don't want to spend that kind. The most you really want to spend is about $300. Because again, there's a classic example. You bought for 300, you made 1,700 profit. Well, I can do that trade 5 or 6 times and still be ahead of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. It would have been interesting to look at Thursday because this is Thursday right here.
Yeah,
Um,
Thursday I was out. See, I sold. I didn't
well,
have any Thursday.
yeah, it would have been interesting to look at the end of the day what the option volume was and if there was a tell that
Oh, it
said that
was.
this, yeah, that this is going to
I
gap
got
up
it
and
on my
run.
I got it on my phone. So what I do is I screenshot the phone. But what I'm trying to say is that those on the right are from Thursday. The ones on the left are for Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
You see that's what I like about Fidelity. It's very easy to read. Everything on that left column is Friday. All the ones on the right, they're not necessarily Thursday, but it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, basically.
Yeah. That they're still holding.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's still holding. Yeah, it's still holding.
Okay, doke. Well, I got to run.
All right. Well, I
Um,
thought that was good. So, all
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Hopefully we can
Yeah.
connect next week sometime as well.
Next week. Yep.
Okay, doke. Take it easy. You have a good
Okay. You
weekend.
too.
Yeah,
All right.
sure. Bye, Alan.
Bye now.